It's time for the Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast. Powerful and liberating business strategies you can start in 5 minutes or less. Now, here's your host, Dean Soto.
Hey, this is Dean Soto, founder of freedomin5minutes.com and prosulum.com. And we're here again with another Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast episode. Today's topic is this: creating and producing is much better than just doing. That and more coming up. Hello! It's so nice to be back with you. Luna thinks we're heading back home, but we're not. We're on our walk. And I'm kind of heading back home, but she's going the opposite way. So I'm going to go this way, then she'll see me and be like, wait, where are you going? Anyway, how's it going? Oh, all right. So it's funny. When you automate things, I actually did a podcast on this not too long ago. When you automate things, one of the biggest struggles is feeling like you're not getting anything done. It's feeling like you're being useless. And it was interesting. I was at my computer not too long ago. I was at my computer. Oh man, not too long ago. Anyway, I was at my computer and I was kind of just doing kind of busy work, not feeling really any I was just feeling like I was useless, like I said. And it's funny because my business partner, Paul, he started this program. It's really, really cool, called Honey Badger Seller. Okay, Honey Badger Seller. So if you go to Instagram, you go check out go to @HoneyBadgerSeller. It's such a cool concept. It's selling for introverts. If you're an introvert, it is the best selling program out there. Okay. Like if you want to learn sales as an introvert, one ways that you can, if you want to learn very proven ways to sell, even though you're not that guy that gets out there and starts handing out your business cards, yada, 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 it's pretty awesome. That being said, I'm looking at him going, man, this guy's getting so much done. This guy, he's got a logo done. He's got an email list that he's starting to make. He's got, I'm helping him with his website, but I'm kind of, the flow's not happening, so I'm kind of stagnant on that, or don't say anything to him, okay? But I'm really just seeing all this stuff going on, and I start thinking, man, I'm not doing anything. I suck, right? This sucks. So I go on WhatsApp. And I actually told him, hey man, like, oh man, I feel like I'm being useless. You need me for anything? You need me to help with anything? And he's like, he even was like, wait, what? What? Why are you bugging me? But not in a bad way. It was just more of, I think he even said like, wait, what do you mean? Like, was I doing something wrong? But it was kind of an out of the blue thing. So he's probably thinking like, you're crazy. What's going on? Anyway, so I WhatsApp him and I let him know, hey, I just feel useless. I feel like I'm not really adding any value. I'm not really doing anything. And like it's just not really my thing, you know? Not really my thing. I just feel like I'm not doing anything. And so he's like, well, yeah, you know, we all get that sometimes and not a big deal and yada, yada. And, you know, whatever. Like he's like, don't sweat it. You know, you're doing great, kid, yada, yada, yada. And so words are one thing, right? So I go, I think it was the next day. It was funny because the next day, I scheduled a guy over here to run an excavator for a month for me, to start creating a spot for some buildings that I want to create. Some buildings, a new backyard, which is he's going to flatten out this area in our kind of side of our house, which we're calling our backyard. We're going to create a soccer field at the very bottom of our property. We're going to create a spot for more chicken coops and things like that. And so I sent him a WhatsApp message telling him all the things. Oh, and I'm buying 2 more houses, 2 more investment properties. And this is all happening just from phone calls. It's phone calls and with talking with people, and things are starting to move, and made some deals, and got more people who buy VSAs and things like that. And so I WhatsApp him a message and letting him know kind of like what's been kind of going on with that. And I still feel useless because these are just phone calls, right? These are just like, I'm not really doing anything. My staff is amazing, and they're the ones that are doing it. My VSAs are absolutely amazing, and they're helping our clients and everything like that. And here I am just on the phone, just making deals, and that's about it, right? And so he messages me back and is like, don't you see what you're doing? Don't you see, like, this is some awesome stuff that you're doing. Don't discount it. What are you doing? Here I am thinking that it's nothing big. It's just, I'm just on the phone, right? Or I'm just talking to someone. But he made me realize, like, that when you have systems, when you have automation, when you empower your staff, when you treat your people right, when you are growing your business because you value the people who work for you, all of that leads to you being able to just make deals and to build your business literally through things like phone calls, right? And so with all that being said, taking a step back, how cool is that? Like, that's literally whether you like him or not, this is what he did for business. He was a deal maker. That's literally what, like, Donald Trump would do, art of the deal type stuff, where he's sitting there making deals, going and talking with people, handshake, and getting workers, getting funding, all that jazz, right? And so one of the, it's hard because when I see my business partner hustling and doing his thing, when I see the other people in my Instagram feed doing the hustle and really working hard and everything like that, I feel sometimes like I'm doing something wrong by not doing that same thing. But in reality, it's pretty dang cool when you can get to that phase in your business where you are what Robert Kiyosaki calls the investor part of the quadrant, right? Where you're in that investor side of the quadrant. And where you are, by your knowledge, your ability to lead, your ability to put 2 and 2 together, your ability to inspire people, your ability to talk with people is what becomes the most valuable part of what you do, right? And it's important. Why so? Like, why am I saying this, and why is this all important? It's important because when we're trained as Americans that you need to work hard, and if you don't, there's something wrong. And I'm not saying not to work hard. I think you should work hard. Given whatever situation you're at, you should be working hard. But the thing is, working on things that can easily be delegated, or working on things and not being able to step back and see ways to innovate, ways to utilize your money the best way. Like, for example, my investment properties, that came from me actually being outside doing some work around the house during the day when I should have been, quote unquote, working, right? Well, I had this great idea that I had some money tied up in investments with promissory notes, and the person who I had the promissory notes with does cash flow properties. He flips homes. So I said, hey, like, why don't I just use what my money's tied up in and buy some homes off of you. And he like literally like he immediately was like, yeah, let's do that. And so it was cool. It was so cool. So by being able to step back and make those deals, that's a hustle at a different type of level. And there's levels above that, levels above me. I can't do what these big guys do with huge commercial properties and huge, like, they're dealing with, like, one of my really good friends. He runs a concrete company, and he is like, it's insane seeing what he does. He does concrete for airports, and he's doing concrete for these huge buildings and things like that. And he's running all these crews and managing all these projects, and that's a level that I just can't fathom. And at this, so we all have our stage where our hustle changes into something else. So that being said, where are you at right now? Are you in the right hustle? Are you doing things that are you doing things that you shouldn't be doing simply because you might feel useless? Because I tend to have that problem. And I can tell you what, as I'm trying to lock my gate, I can tell you what, that problem is keeping you from growing. Because I know that if I were to focus on making these deals and utilizing my money in the right way and working with people who can run excavators and things like that on my house, I would be doing really dumb things that are not pushing my business forward. Right? So are you doing the right things? If not, what can you do to create? What can you do to produce? I challenge you this week to do that. So I think Luna, by the way, found something dead. Just keeps on going over to that spot. And that's not good. But anyway. All right. All that being said, I got to get back to what I was doing. So anyway, this is Dean Soto, Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast. And I will check you out in the next Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast. Now, head over to www.freedomin5minutes.com and register for our free masterclass and discover how to start systemizing and automating your entire business 5 minutes at a time. We'll see you next time on the Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast.